Well, hello there, and welcome back to yet another long overdue installment of Rapid Licks. Alright guys, so today's Rapid Lick is basically just a very simple legato Rapid Lick. This is the kind of lick you'd hear in the 80s from players like Steve Vai. I'm certain I've heard him use this with Whitesnake. Also, of course, at the end here, some of you with a keen ear probably recognize that symmetrical run I did. That is indeed a borrowed Eddie Van Halen style run. All I've done is like I normally do and stuck that into a sequence. These are super great licks, really easy, they look incredibly flashy, and they are guaranteed to improve your playing. Anyway, enough of my talking, let's get playing. Okay, before we get going, let me play through that entire lick one time slowly so you can kind of get a feel for how this should sound. Kind of thing. All right, so the important thing to know is we're in standard tune here, and we're going to be doing everything around D major. So D major scale, of course, for those of you who aren't familiar with D major, looks and sounds kind of like this. And we're going to be doing this with the full extension using all 6 strings and doing 3 notes per string, so it'll look kind of like this. That kind of thing, all right? And for the second lick, we're just doing exactly an Eddie Van Halen symmetrical thing. The good old 1, 2, 4 kind of position like that. So, you know, and we're just going to repeat that going through the string. So that kind of thing, right? Oh, and one thing I will mention just before we get going, I'm doing this up in the neck position. I just prefer the way that sounds. You can go back here and it sound trebly, but a little bit harder to get the notes to pop for me and sound more even. So neck is what I've been using. Pro tip. Okay folks, so to start this off, we're going to do this little lick here. Okay, so all we're doing for that lick is you're going to play once on the high E string on the 14th fret, pull off to the 10, hammer back on to the 12, come up here and hammer on again to the 14, and then you're going to pull that off to the 12, and then you're going to continue that pull off back to the 10. So it sounds like this. Okay, so basically we're just going down and coming up. All right, got that? So now what I want you to do, knowing our scale pattern in, 3 notes per string moving through this, that kind of thing, all I want you to do is play that lick you just did, like that, okay? Now jump down 1 string onto the B and do the exact same thing in the same position. Okay, you're following me? Excellent. All right, so we got this so far. Next what I want you to do is jump onto your G string, and we're going to be starting this one off again on the 14th fret. And you're going to play that once and repeat this exact same pattern, but this time the only difference is you're pulling off to the 11. Just like that, okay? So we got this. Okay. Now this is where things don't get tricky at all, because we're going to do the exact same thing again, but just down 1 more string on the good old D string. So we've got this. You guessed it, we're just doing exactly that pattern we just did, but on the D. Like that, okay? So we got this so far, folks. Okay. Now what I want you to do is you're going to be jumping on the A string and the E string, and we're going to just repeat exactly what we did, but on these 2 strings, the same long stretched out form we did back here on the high E. So, starting off on the 14th fret on your A string, take that, pull off to the 10, hammer on to the 12, hammer on to the 14, pull off to the 12, pull off to the 10, right? So this thing. And of course, because we know the way this scale works, we're going to be jumping back here onto the E string and doing the exact same thing with the exact same fingerings in the exact same position. Okay, just like that. So that whole lick all together, played all the way through, looks and sounds kind of like this. Good, so that's the first lick. Oh, here's something else worth mentioning. If you're finding that you're playing and these kind of string changes are coming up a little bit too quickly and are getting a little bit tricky, feel free to loiter and do the same thing you just did twice on that string. I mean, if it's nice, play it twice. It also gives you a little bit of time to think before you make your string change. So, I mean, you could just do something kind of like this. That works perfectly well and sounds pretty darn good too. Oh, another thing I will say about this pattern is you don't necessarily need to do it legato. Again, I'm just doing it this way to show you that it can be done legato with just, very minimal input from your picking hand. But if you want to, you can do this all alternate picking. I mean, that sounds really great as well. So again, just, use your ear, see what feels comfortable for you, and you can use this lick to develop different techniques as you like. All right, so the second lick. That guy. So what we're gonna do for this one is basically just a straight Eddie Van Halen symmetrical scale shape. Now I will warn you, of course, there are a lot of notes that are out of key, but the thing is, Eddie always resolves to a note that is in key, which makes this just sound like pure magic, even though it's like jazz gibberish. This will work, just you gotta play it quickly and don't loiter on the bad notes. So the way I've got this structured is that note there, of course, we know is the start of our D major scale. That's where you want to end when you get down here. Failure to do so may sound like poop. So the way I'm starting this is you pick once on the low E string there on the 9, hammer on to the 10, and hammer on to the 12, right? So, and all I'm doing is just repeating this pattern, going down like that, okay? So to start that off, go down one more, go down one more. And this is where I deviate a little bit. I've gone ahead and sequenced this. So once you've gone down, 3 strings, so 1 string, 2 string, 3 string, go back 1 string, and then go up 3 strings, right? So we're gonna start now on the A string and go just 3 down like we just did. Okay, and then you go back up 1 and go down 3. Okay, you're following me? You got this. And this is where I resolve right there to the D on the high E string, which is of course your 10th fret. Now you saw in the video I played in the intro, I came all up here and hit the last fret right there on my guitar, which is the 22nd fret, which also happens to be a D, and we're in D major, so sounds perfectly fine. Oh, and as a little bonus, when Eddie goes through, when Eddie Van Halen used to play these licks, kind of that sort of thing. He wouldn't do it all legato the way we're doing it. I'm just doing it this way to show you how to do it with legato. He would do one like that, and then he'd pick the next one. As you can see, that sounds interesting, a little bit different. You go ahead and do that if you like. Just I wanted to demonstrate this using legato. So use whatever feels good to you. They're both awesome. Okay, so the entire lick played slowly sounds kind of like this. Alright, played a little bit quicker. Alright folks, maximum effort. Alright, so there you go. That is my Steve Vai, Eddie Van Halen, legato-inspired shred lick thing. As you can see, it is dead simple, just a very, very easy repeating pattern, moving through a scale. Now, of course, you can do this anywhere you want. You don't have to apply it to, the major scale like we did. This, of course, works in minor. That kind of thing if you like. Really, just take that pattern, use it however you want. You can go linearly if you like, that kind of thing. I mean, really, the sky is the limit with what you want to do with this kind of phrasing, which is kind of the point, which is why I'm showing you this lick. Build your own licks with this. This is great stuff, really awesome, easy to use, flashy style licks that everybody likes. Because really, who doesn't like easy, flashy licks? Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did learn anything or did find this useful in any way, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and help this channel grow a little bit. And as per usual, just keep on shredding, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye for now.